Perfection in Stardew is a monstrous task. It's taken many months of farming, slashing, and helping whatever this thing is. But at long last, here's the finale of this perfection series. Yes, in this video I do make it to the peak, but I also do lots of other cool stuff along the way, so you should totally watch the whole video. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm thrilled to present to you part 3 of my perfection file of Stardew Valley. Before year 3 even starts, Grandpa comes down to tell me the future of Titties is in my hands now. The farm is named Titties, and this is a wild way to start year 3. Ignore how weird it was that my grandpa said that to me and throw my child into the ceiling. Then I get to work, starting to fix my farm for spring. I'm way closer to perfection than I even realized. I need to ship a couple more things, find 5 more things for the museum, and cook 3 dishes. Of course, I still have the desert obelisk and golden clock to think about, but I'm sure those won't be a pain. Well, look at that, my ostrich hatched. I named her Thneed, because everybody needs a Thneed. At Pierre's, I buy hundreds of seeds, because I have no idea how many tiles I have set up with sprinklers, but it's probably less than 400. Then Vincent shows me how to clean my spring onions. Gross! I end this very long day finishing planting my cauliflower and potatoes. I started today by knocking one of those recipes out. 3 more to go, and I can get what I need for the next one on Ginger Island. So I head there to replant my starfruit fields and check on my perfection tracker. 65% ain't bad, but it's the last 35% that's the most difficult. I head into the pirate's cave to catch a stingray to replace my squid in the fish pond. Full stingray ponds have a 5% chance to produce dragon teeth. I need a lot of those for the obelisk and other crafting recipes. I need all the help I can get, even if it's just a small chance. I stay on the island late to catch a midnight carp, then head back to the valley to immediately turn it into seafoam pudding. With only cooking on the brain, I head into town to harvest a crayfish from my crab pots. I turn it into fish stew, earning me the gourmet chef achievement. Hell yeah, I knocked this out so quickly. I can't wait to finish everything else quickly. I spend most of the day in the dangerous mines before heading back to Ginger Island to collect the stingray I forgot there. Then I empty out my squid pond to give my little stingrays a new home. I spend the first part of the day rearranging my fishing chests, then head to Skull Caverns. It's a short run today where I'm focusing on gathering stone for building even more fish ponds. Then I head back to gather my first keg harvest of the season. Filling kegs feels like taking an eye exam. I'm looking for any that don't pulse, and I never feel like I've gotten them all. With 201 wines, I feel pretty good, but I want to make even more kegs to hit that 10 million gold for the golden clock as quickly as possible. I go to the traveling cart to get upset, then I harvest everything from my tappers and head back to the dangerous mines, only to give up on floor 19. This place is really challenging for someone who's really bad at Stardew. I'll be back with more staircases. I head back to the farm and spend the rest of the day working my way through the crafting menu. On day 230, I start the day buying starfruit from the desert, then I head to Ginger Island to conquer my biggest enemy in Stardew, a Simon Says puzzle. I recorded this with Facecam for my Patreon subscribers. Here's a quick clip. But I can't remember things this quickly. If you want to see the full thing, check out my Patreon for other behind the scenes of recording and monthly updates on me and the channel. My day was spent using so many staircases to descend the dangerous mines. I do what I gotta for the key gems though. I make it down to floor 50 where a grub drops a galaxy soul? This feels so lucky and new, maybe? I'm not sure. I leave pretty shortly after to get home to check on my forest neighbors, who I love, and the traveling cart, which disappoints me. To wrap up my day, I give an amethyst to Emily, who then kisses me. And just like that, I've cheated on the father of my child. Whoops. Sorry, Shane. My bad. I harvest all my potatoes today with that beautiful iridium scythe. Then I decide to ship an ostrich egg to get closer to finishing my full shipping menu. I head to the ice mines to search for frozen geodes for my forest friends. Then I finish their request, earning me an ostrich egg. This one I decide to keep. My husband was spending time with his niece. This is nice. I don't know if I've ever seen them hang outside before. I head to Robin's where she said she could build a house for Pam if I pay for it and supply all the materials. I said no, another fish pond, please. I got the achievement for full shipment this morning, and Shane complimented me on my efficiency with sprinklers. Thanks, baby. I went to Pierre's to buy parsnip seeds. I made more sprinklers, and I'm expanding my farm in preparation for strawberry season. I wasted my money at Klitz, then learned you can walk on the boat when it leaves for Ginger Island. Hey, look at me go. I add some more ancient seeds to my field and see that I'm still missing 5 golden walnuts. I don't know where they are. This will haunt me. After spending an extensive amount of time on the wiki, I realize I missed this walnut. 4 to go. The parrot tells me there are 3 more in the west, and I'll be back for you golden walnuts. At the beach, I find a new shirt and buy the fish smoker recipe from Willie. At the Adventurers Guild, I see I still need a couple more pepper rexes and serpents before finishing the monster eradication goals. So I head to Skull Cavern to get a little closer to finishing. Happy Keg Day, everyone. Best day of the week. With 280 plus kegs, I'm feeling pretty good, but wait, what is that? Am I driving the bus? Truly, what do we employ Pam for? I mean, seriously. I ended the day in the caverns hunting for serpents. Wait, did that one drop a houseplant? I never thought I would say this on the internet, but I need wood. So I chopped down the entire cindersap forest to eventually turn into more kegs and chests. Speaking of kegs, I made some more, then added them to the quarry. I visited my good buddy Krobus and bought the wizard catalog from him. I also added more crystallariums to my shed to end the night. The morning of the egg hunt, I checked out the wizard's catalog to see him once again complaining about his ex-wife. Starting to get a good idea of why she left you, buddy. I saw Shane holding his chicken. Damn, this man is cute sometimes. Then after buying a bunch of strawberries from Pierre, I checked in on Leo. He was playing with Jazz and Vincent and thought the egg hunt was weird. Fair point, kid. I once again demolished at the egg festival for the 3rd year in a row. Hey, if it wasn't me, it'd be Abigail, and I can't let her feel joy. Today, I harvested nearly my entire farm to plant more strawberry seeds, only to realize that I had severely underestimated how many I needed. I headed to Pierre's to buy more stupid cauliflower seeds before heading home to plant them. The traveling cart was useless, so I headed to Robin's, not to build Pam a house, but to build another fish pond. She already has a house. My fish live in a chest. I'm being fair. On the farm, another ostrich was born who I named Ulfric because of course I did. This morning, I headed straight to the second egg-themed festival this season. I know what's up now, and I want those calico eggs. I went to Skull Caverns and hunted for eggs until I hit a spiral floor on 55 and left because I didn't want to deal with it. Now with the full festival open, it's time to explore. I checked out Jody and Kent's shops, then got a new look from Emily and Sandy. How on theme! With any luck, this thing has come out during late December, so happy holidays, everyone! I head home to set up my new cactus friend, then replace all the spring forageables that I planted for a quest. Because of a decent luck day, I'm back in Skull Caverns looking for more calico eggs. My goal with the Adventurers Guild was to get to floor 30, which I do with ease, but I decided to go a bit further just for funsies. Emily and Vincent are my shopkeeps today, and she's selling a prismatic shard for 500 eggs. Seems pretty fair, actually. I completely buy out Vincent's shop because his silly inventory made me laugh, and I love him. Then I see what happens with the clothing booth when it's just Sandy working. It's so cool that this was accounted for in the design, and I am now a cowboy. I find Linus at a trash can and grow concerned when he says he hitched a ride underneath the bus. Linus, I could have paid for your ticket, or you could have used my obelisk? My god, that's unsafe. I spend the rest of the night working on crafting things and organizing chests before a fairy grows some of my crops. Thank you, I guess. On the final day of the Desert Festival, I, once again, grab a quest from Marlin, then head into the caverns. This time I'm looking for Omnigeodes, but go until level 50 just for giggles. I see Leo and Penny are the vendors for today, but the best part is my new favorite quote from Vincent. His expression, the excitement, it's all perfect. This is a child with undiagnosed ADHD, and I relate to him. I buy Penny's frying pan, then have Emily pick out my outfit for the last time this year. I'm a sailor now. Thank you. I buy a banana sapling from Leo, and that's how I ended my desert festival. For a change of pace, I went right back to Skull Caverns to do a semi-proper run. I found a new blue hat and auto petter and ended up with over 120 iridium before leaving because during this run, I finished slaying both the serpents and the pepper rexes, completing my monster eradication goals. I collect my napalm ring and knight's helmet, then talk to Gil, who is once again not impressed with anything I've done. Glad I did all that work for you, man. Be seeing you never. Since I forgot to do it yesterday, Friday will be my new keg day. Today, I added 31 more kegs, bringing my total kegs to 339. I'm gonna have to find a new place to put kegs soon because the quarry is pretty much full at this point. I planted some garlic to end the day because I need to make oil of garlic in the crafting menu, and I need 10 bulbs of garlic for that. I wasn't expecting to begin today with such hot gossip, but Leo asked me if I thought Jazz would ever like a guy like him. I couldn't handle it, so I decided to pay my excitement forward and pay to upgrade Pam's trailer to a house. But I couldn't be too happy, so I headed to Klitz to open 60 plus Omni Geodes, only to find 2 new items for the museum, one of which I'd accidentally put in my chest a long time ago. My bad, y'all. But now I only need 3 more things to complete the museum. I went to Ginger Island to harvest and replant my starfruit field. I also added more sprinklers because my keg empire is expanding and I've got to keep up with 330 plus crops a week now. I also chopped down those trees I'd been growing and checked on my perfection progress. 78% ain't bad. I'm happy with that. I started today visiting my girl Sandy in the desert to buy 600 starfruit seeds. With how much I'm buying plus the illegal casino in the back, this woman must be loaded. I stay supporting local businesses, even stupid Pierre. At the traveling cart, I buy some pickles and a rare seed because as much as I love to hate it, this place is going to be crucial for the 999 challenge. I see the raccoons need some dried mushrooms and eggs, and I can do that. I head to Ginger Island to try to fish up more stingrays to fill my ponds. I barely catch any, but I do get 3 frog statues that I set up to decorate. Cute! I hand deliver the raccoon family their dried mushrooms and eggs, and get the coffee maker from Evelyn in the mail as a thank you for delivering all those leeks. Then I head to the sewer to request a change in fishing profession. I need the elvish jewelry as the last artifact, and I can get that from dig spots in the forest, artifact troves, or with a 0.7% chance from fishing chests. It's not a very high chance, but I'm desperate at this point. I spend the rest of the day doing a volcano run for Dragon's Teeth, where I leave with a whopping singular tooth. Frustrating, but we move. I pick up a key quest to get to level 100 in the caverns without eating or drinking. That's what staircases are for. Easy peasy. I went to choose the profession for fishing that night and chose wrong. I need the one that makes treasures more common. It's a waste of 10k, so I will be resetting this again. On day 247, I go straight to Skull Caverns to spam staircases until I find a white turban as a new hat. I love that I get to see my cute little face again. I make it down to floor 100 with no problem. Then on my way into town, I see Robin has finished Pam's new house. I make sure to keep it anonymous because even though I fully disagree with the morality of letting Pam have the only driving job in town as a belligerent alcoholic, I think everyone deserves a home. I do think it's rude that Pam's house is cuter than mine. I head back into the sewers to reset my fishing professions again and choose the right path this time to get more of a chance at treasure chests. I put that new profession to work before the flower dance and come up empty-handed. I then head to the dance, which I will be boycotting if Vincent doesn't get to be the flower queen. Then my bumbling mess of a husband and I dance together where we reminisce on our kind of first date. Aww. I make sure to gather some tea leaves that I can only get at the end of the season before making a solar panel to keep here on the farm. I head to the secret woods because I really need a morel to craft the life elixir, and I'm finally lucky enough to get one. I kind of regret choosing the fruit bat cave. I run home to complete the recipe, and I'm left with 6 more crafting recipes. The mini forge, ginger island warp, oil of garlic, warrior ring, tub of flowers, and the hopper. Most of these are pretty annoying to make, and 2 of them need dragon teeth. Perfection is a challenge for a reason. I don't know why Robin asks what I want when I come in. Another fish pond, please. Make it snappy. Then on Ginger Island, I buy a game-changing item. A horse flute. Now I can bring my buddy Spork everywhere. I love him. I went to the dwarf to buy more bombs, then straight to Skull Caverns. It was a pretty bad run, so I decided to leave early to harvest my kegs. I drive myself back since clearly Pam can't be bothered after her new house. I rush to try to finish refilling my kegs and wonder if I'm able to get 300 plus kegs filled before I have to go home. Turns out, I can't. So I have to finish refilling my kegs the next morning. The perfection tracker says I'm still missing 4 golden walnuts, and I spend most of the day retracing my steps to see which ones I've missed. I find one past Key's room and another much later hidden on the beach. I'm losing it a bit, wondering where these are. So I dedicate day 252 to finishing the quest for walnuts. I realize with the help of the wiki that I'm missing one from the top right of the island. I struggle quite a lot with figuring out this very simple path. Embarrassing. The parrot in Leo's hut tells me the last walnut is hidden in the north. After Leo thanks me for all the walnuts I've found so far, I know that choosing today to hunt for walnuts was the right choice. I head to the north part of the island, only to realize I've missed a fairly obvious one above the dig site. And that's all the walnuts found. What a relief. I didn't have to pay that Joja bird a single dime. I've just got a splitting headache, but at least I saved some money. I head back to my farm to do the final spring harvest to find a big crop. This is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna leave it for a while. What a neat way to end the season. The summer season has begun as usual. I clear up my dead crops and see my giant crop has survived. Hooray! I wasn't sure how this worked. I head to Pierre's to buy a bunch of seeds, including the ones I need for the tub of flowers recipe. Back on the farm, I make the tub of flowers. Silly name, by the way, meaning I only need to make 5 more craftables. I also add even more sprinklers to account for new summer crops. I buy some starfruit seeds and water late into the night, but don't quite finish. My crops are going to grow at different rates, so sorry to everyone that will bother. Luckily, it's raining today, so I spend some time actually trying to plan out a farm layout. I add some stone walkways to connect the warp pipe, the north entrance, and the east entrance. It's not a bad start, but I'm at a loss of what to do next. I head to Klitz to open more geodes and strike out with the first set. I just need granite and aragonite to finish my materials. After running out of Omni geodes and switching to regular ones after a couple cracks, I finally got granite. I ran to donate it to the museum. I just need an aragonite for minerals, and that has better odds of coming out of frozen geodes. I'll definitely be farming those later. On the beach, I ran into Sebastian, moping in the rain. We shared an umbrella. Even though I'm married, I'm a floozy and proud. On the 3rd of summer, I went to the desert. I had a pretty decent Skull Cavern run that day that really made me wish Pierre had another backpack upgrade. When trying to collect battery packs at the end of the night, I accidentally warped to the mountains and had to run back before passing out. Don't be like me. My forest neighbors had another quest for me this morning, and I'll help you out soon, pals. More importantly, I've finally decided where my keg empire is expanding to. Through the bus stop, and eventually to the tunnel. I add 20 more kegs here and fill them with ancient fruit. This really will help me get that golden clock money. So why didn't anyone tell me you can replace chests with a click? This is a game changer. I wish I had known it 255 days ago. I deliver bat wings and sea urchins to my raccoon friends and get a Stardrop tea. Then I head to Ginger Island to harvest and replant the starfruit fields before finding a void frog egg in the volcano. I'm sorry, parrot friend, but I've always liked frogs more. No, really, this frog sidekick is the one I was most excited to get. I take the Parrot Express back to the volcano with my new hoppin' pal to continue my hunt for teeth. Call me the Tooth Fairy, cause I'm looking for molars. I had a pretty great run today and wind up with 4 dragon teeth. This is great progress. I'm really happy about it, mostly because I hate doing volcano runs. I return to the valley, check on the traveling cart, then make and place 15 more kegs. I should have learned that 9 p.m. was too late to refill 300 plus kegs, but I didn't, and run out of time yet again. Now, Saturday is my keg day, and I'll do my best to remember to start earlier. I collect from my tapper farm, crystallariums, and furnaces before heading into the secret woods. At the rate I'm making kegs, I need all the wood I can get. And I decided to grab a new hat from the Hat Mouse because I've been rocking this turban for a good minute now. With the archer's cap on my head, I chop trees well into the night, finishing Robin's Resource Rush for maybe the 3rd time by this point. With the greater chance to find geodes as my blessing from the dwarf statue, I knew today was the day to hunt for aragonite. I headed to refresh the ice levels to look for frozen geodes, and after running into a monster floor, I left to crush the whopping 5 geodes I'd found so far. UI Info Suite told me none of the geodes were my precious aragonite, so I went back to the mines. I cleared out entire floors only to leave with 5 more frozen geodes. Maybe that blessing was a sham, but on cracking this set, the 4th one was aragonite. I truly couldn't believe it. I'm done with the minerals to fill the museum. I rushed to the museum to donate what I found. Now I only need that stupid elvish jewelry, and I'll have done Gunther's whole job for him. Then he'll have to love me. I head to Ginger Island to harvest ancient fruit and fairy rose honey before deciding that I want to have a bad time. I accept Key's crops yet again and brace myself for the pain of this quest by heading to the volcano to play dentist to the local lava lurk population. I was in the volcano well into the night, and I ended up leaving at 1:30 a.m. Turns out if you do that, call your horse, take the Parrot Express, you can make it to bed on time. This shocked me. Apparently not having learned my lesson, and because of a need for teeth, I head back into the volcano, also hunting for beans this time. Despite traversing all 10 floors, I came out with 1 tooth, but 15 beans. It's not nothing, but it feels close to it. Back in the valley, I make around 30 more kegs that I set out by the bus stop. I may not have teeth, but I can guarantee that I'll have wine. Right before heading home, I decided to double back for a worm spot where I found a new beanie. Slay, I'd wear this in real life. Love me a beanie. Now, that's a lot of red cabbage I'm harvesting. Why? Well, for the polyculture achievement. I need to ship 15 of most crops, and red cabbage was one of the ones I'm missing. If you see me plant quite a few of seemingly random crops, this is why. I make a couple more iridium sprinklers, then head to plant my key beans on the island. All of my rhubarb instead of starfruit can also be explained with polyculture. I need to ship some more of the rhubarb too. I have my most successful day of dentistry yet, finding 5 teeth in the volcano. I truly wasted so much time asking Robin to build those fish ponds. They still haven't given me 1 tooth. Oh, wait, what is that? There, on my screen. Oh, great. An alien left their experiment on my farm. Now I gotta deal with an alien capsule. These raccoons want some truly random things. Cave carrot juice and pickled summer squash. I got you guys, but I'm starting to have questions. My fish ponds have no teeth, but that's okay because I've continued my mayo soup tradition at the luau. This never gets old. It makes me laugh every time. With that last good day in the volcano, I finally have the 10 dragon teeth I need to build the final obelisk. And what does the wizard have to say? Oh, that he hates his ex? Yeah, that checks out. This man is disappointing, but never surprising. But hey, 4 out of 4 obelisks. I'm really proud. I've never gotten this far in Stardew. I'm officially in unfamiliar perfection-based territory. I decide to knock out some more of those final crafting recipes. Here's the warrior ring, done. I make the oily garlic in the kitchen, then with one of my 2 radioactive bars, here's the hopper. Funnily enough, I didn't have any ginger on the mainland, so I had to head to the island to find my stash of ginger to make the island warp totem. Great! Now I just need 4 more dragon teeth to make the mini forge. Hopefully my ponds will finally come in handy. I celebrate with another full keg day. It'll be a bit before all my kegs are in sync, but with 374 bottles of wine a week, I can't complain. I'll be getting that golden clock in no time. Oh, also, I guess I'm pregnant again? Wouldn't it be cool if my fish ponds were full of dragon teeth today? They aren't. At least my fields are full of melons. I replaced them with starfruit and continue planting starfruit on Ginger Island. I've grabbed my seed makers from the greenhouse and brought them here to make more head fruit beans. I spend some time deforesting until I find a new t-shirt. This is an outfit I would wear in real life, and I don't know how to feel about that. I head back to my farm to pick up some extra sprinklers, then plant the new key beans I found around them. I hate this quest, but I love key gems. I pick up the retro catalog from the traveling cart, then head to the desert to pick up 200 starfruit seeds and 190 staircases. I search the trash cans for another new catalog, but come up empty-handed. Then I decide to explore a secret that I saw online. If you use a staircase in Mayor Luce's home, apparently he has a secret basement? I walk through this weird barrel maze to pick up more of his shorts, and oh my god, I'm being attacked by flying boxers. After almost dying to powerful underwear, Lewis casually says, "Good evening." Hey man, that's weird, and definitely against some building code. I have so many questions. To make a mockery of our mayor, I take a gold bar and make gold-trimmed shorts. Is it strange to be wearing embroidered boxers of a government official as pants? Yes, but flying evil underwear is weirder. Ah, great. Green Rain Day. I can't have one normal day in the valley as a simple wine mogul, can I? Well, I spend the whole day harvesting moss from the forest. What'll I do with it? I have no idea, but at least I got it. I start today with more face fruit beans. I add even more sprinklers to my island farm to accommodate, then head to Pierre's to buy some DSG to speed up this process. I deliver the cave carrot juice to the raccoons and receive fairy dust that I will be saving forever for the 999 challenge. I decide to up my battery production and make 6 more solar panels. I need batteries for crystallariums, to make jade, to get staircases, to go deeper in skull caverns, to get iridium, to make solar panels. It's a vicious cycle. At the end of the night, I remember to fertilize my face fruit plants and hope to have a skull cavern run tomorrow. But luck is not on my side for day 269, so instead of skull, I head to the volcano. I blew up a dragon tooth and had to really sit with myself for this one. I was really frustrated, but I still managed to leave with 2, so it wasn't a total loss. But I am a total loser. I hoped for a good luck day, but again was met with disappointment. I went to the volcano to look for the last couple teeth I needed, and they say doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Call me insane, baby, because going for perfection in Stardew Valley is driving me crazy. And these teeth are 99 of my problems. But with the death of 1 lava lurk, I had the 2 teeth I needed for the mini forge. I sped back to my farm to gather the materials I needed, and new achievement, baby! I've never done this before, and God willing, it will be a while until I ever have to do it again. Shout out to my dumb fish ponds for not giving me a dragon tooth that entire time. They're necessary for the 999 challenge, but we are fighting. I went to Robin's to move some buildings around, breaking the fourth wall here, but I tried to use a Stardew farm planner in between recordings, and I was really bad at it. No fault to the website. I knew after many minutes on that site that I wanted to make this little space down by the cave where my farm animals hang out. That's as far as I got. Took me like half an hour to get there. I am no designer. Ignore my lack of skills and be amazed by another keg harvest day. Wow, so much money and alcohol. I'm so good and talented. My night ended by propagating more face fruit and running out of time and space for beans. I'm gonna have to sort this field out to try to finish the quest in time. Finally, a Skull Cavern run today. But why is the statue glowing? Oh, right, for the dangerous Skull Caverns, of course. If you thought I was bad at normal Skull Caverns, I'm way worse at this one. Everything is stronger and with more health, and it's my job to get to floor 100 for more gems. And I do. With a lot of staircases. I duck dodge and staircase down the caverns, keeping an eye out for any easy to get radioactive nodes. I also find another blue cowboy hat, which reminds me, I haven't gotten a blue chicken for my farm yet. After hitting floor 100, I run over to Marnie's to buy a new blue baby that I randomized to name EmzaOhNo. My beautiful genetically mutated baby. Marnie giggles at me when she realizes I'm wearing her man's shorts around in public. Anytime Lewis is embarrassed is a good time for me. I head back to Ginger Island with 2 new iridium sprinklers to try to sort out my beans problem. I'm obsessed with checking my perfection tracker. 80% is way more than I've ever had. The only thing I'm missing are the golden clock and the elvish jewelry, which will complete the museum and earn me my last star drop. With my shed upgraded, I do a bit of rearranging, then take some Omni geodes to the desert to trade for artifact troves. Clint disappoints me, and I spend the rest of the day adding more sprinklers to the island for beans. It's the last week of summer, so I make sure to harvest my tea leaves. But on Ginger Island, it's the biggest harvest of the season with starfruit and keyfruit. I spend most of the day turning these faces into beans. I don't make nearly as many beans as I have the space for, so I spend the rest of the day trying to fish up beans and elvish jewelry, which I don't get. It's another face fruit day, but I decide to fill the rest of the field with starfruit when I run out of beans. I have no idea how many I've planted. It's none of my business. If I'm not panicking into the last days of this quest, I'm doing it wrong. I'm easily distracted by a nice harvest on Titty's farm. Fall is gorgeous, but summer is probably my favorite season in Stardew, and this one has flown by so quickly. If you were wondering, no, I still haven't gotten a dragon tooth from the fish ponds. Also, I'm regularly checking my greenhouse for fruit trees and ancient fruit, but I haven't been showing you, cause it's a secret. Today is really my second to last day to get key beans planted. With the deluxe speed grow, these things take 3 days to grow, and I have to finish this before the end of the season. I plant extra beans on both Ginger Island and my main farm. Then I get kinda desperate. I grab some pressure nozzles with my key gems to expand the area of my sprinklers on Ginger Island. Could I have just made more sprinklers and planted them on my main farm? Absolutely I could have, but I was panicking. These expand your sprinkler range by 1, making the iridium sprinklers a 6x6 instead of a 5x5. I also fish for beans until late into the night. I was panicking! Day 277 is officially the last day I can plant face fruits. I harvest all of them and turn most of them into beans to replant. I harvest 244, so I know I'll have at least that many in the next 3 days. Everything else, well, I don't know, and I don't feel like doing the math. My lack of farm organization has become a problem, once again. I plant the 244 beans, then add some more with extra pressure nozzles, and replace some of my grown fruits on the main farm. I hope it's enough, and if it's not, well, what a waste of a season. Shane said I look ready to have a baby, and I guess that's true. I didn't think I looked pregnant, but apparently I've put on a couple extra pixels. Including the 101 extra fruit I had from yesterday, today I harvest 152, bringing my total to 263. I gotta hope I have 237 more planted, and I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know, sprinkler math hurts my head, and I don't have time to worry, cause it's keg day. Takes me around 7 in-game hours to fully refill and harvest all my kegs, and it is totally worth it. I have my second child during the night and name it Charlie, with a Y, after my firstborn, Charlie with an IE. Now I only have to remember one name. It's day 1 with 2 kids, and Shane is immediately wanting to send them away to camp. He's still the father of the year. I mean, the other dads in town are Demetrius, Pierre, and Kent, so there's not a lot of competition. In tradition of being a family woman, I spend the day my second-born came into the world deep in Skull Caverns. I'm really here for Omni geodes at this point to get the artifact troves, but more iron and copper ore for kegs will do nicely. It's a dive without much note, except I took a shaft that took me past floor 200, so I didn't get my 2 treasure floor chests. Bummer. Well, today's the day. It's the last day of summer and my final chance at face fruit victory. I start by harvesting everything on the main farm, then heading to Ginger Island. Wow, that's a lot of creepy faces. I harvest everything, needing a little over 250 fruits, and oh boy, I way overestimated how many I needed. No complaints though, these gems will line my pockets nicely. I turn some of the extra fruit into wine because I'll need those for the 999 challenge later. And now is as good a time as any to get a jump on key fruit wine. I replant my field with more starfruit seeds, and when I head back to the valley, my forest neighbors perform for me. I'm glad I helped them out with all their weird fetch quests. To end the summer, I say hi to Leo and hang out with my family, minus my newborn child, at the Moonlight Jellies Festival. Let's start off the season with a victory. This aged starfruit wine is finally ready. For all you aesthetic farm babes, I apologize. This might be my worst season yet. I start by adding iridium sprinklers to the land outside my farmhouse that has had the same layout for 2 years. Then I buy a bunch of pumpkins, artichokes, yams, and grapes. I need the last 3 for polyculture. Adding more iridium sprinklers to the lower half of my farm certainly happens. It's ugly and I'm not proud, but it'll do. It takes me so long to rearrange things that I barely get anything planted day 1. So my planting continues into the damp morning of the 2nd of fall, and for the whole day, actually. I plant my grapes in the worst spots possible, but eventually in the wee hours of the night, all my crops make it into the ground. Well, now what? I'm pretty much just waiting for my kegs to produce 4 more times at about $1 million a harvest, and I just need 1 more thing for the museum. So I head to Klitz to break open 11 more artifact troves, and I don't find the elvish jewelry. This is infuriating, but at least I have something to work towards. Look at my chest. I've been saving everything for the 999 challenge, and I have so many not elvish jewelry artifacts. This thing is teasing me. I use a treasure totem in the forest out of desperation and come up empty-handed. I wander around the forest looking for more worm spots when I finally acknowledge the trash bear. This cute guy wants a sea cucumber, and I am determined to get it for him. When I have the time. I head to Robin's to ask her to create shortcuts around the valley, then spend the evening doing what I do best, deforesting. I had 1 more iridium sprinklers worth of pumpkins, then gather bars from my shed to make 29 more kegs. I head to the ocean to fish for the sea cucumber and the elvish jewelry, and after buying a new bobber from Willie and switching spots, I end up catching a bunch of sea cucumber. That's 1 victory, I guess. I head to deliver the cucumber to the trash bear, and they swallow it whole. Then ask for a catfish. Guess I'm going fishing on the next rainy day now. I harvest the ancient fruit from my greenhouse and head to celebrate another keg day. It's definitely a lot of work, but I'm proud of how much my empire has grown. I don't know where I'm selling all this wine to, but I'm glad they still want around 400 bottles every week. I harvest some starfruit from Ginger Island, then head to the desert to restock on seeds. I'm not sure I've ever actually tried starfruit before. Maybe I should look into that. No complaints about 1 million gold earned. Wish I could make a fraction of that in real life, but it's fine. I'm totally fine. It's raining here today, so I fish in the forest to catch a catfish to give to the friendly trash bear, who is not here. I swear they were here a couple days ago. What is it with characters disappearing when it rains? If I have to be outside, so do they. Fine. I'll just go to the woods and spend the rest of the day setting up some paths on my farm. Hey, please tell me paths are helping with the aesthetic. I know they're not, but please lie to me. This is truly the best I can do. I take my frustrations to Robin, who comments on the weather. I buy another silo because I'm not buying more hay from Marnie, and I don't super want my animals to starve. That's just a quirky thing about me. I don't like when animals starve. Anyway, I head to the volcano to, I don't know, suffer? I don't remember when it wasn't raining in Stardew. Also, this is like my 4th or 5th tooth I've given to these ponds, and not 1 dragon tooth in return. I know it's a low % chance, but come on. I head to the wizards to move my fish ponds into this cute little line, then my ADHD really took over today. I was back on the island picking up a new key quest. This time I chose Key's Cuisine, and I will be using an exploit. I also pick up 2 galaxy souls with my gems. I could have used the mini forge I crafted, but instead I make my way to the top of the volcano to fuse 3 galaxy souls with my galaxy hammer to make the infinity gavel. Ooh. Then I check my journal scraps and infuse the gavel with prismatic shards until it gets Crusader, which allows me to hit mummies without bombs. This is probably my favorite weapon perk. I like it a lot. So back in the valley, I bring the trash bear the catfish. Then they ask for pancakes, so I go back home, make pancakes, and bring them back to the bear. They eat them without swallowing, then ask for moss soup. I'll get you your soup, buddy, but that's enough errands for one day. I pick up my preserve jars that I hadn't used for months, and surprising even me, I decide to make 19 more. Line them up on a path to the mountains and fill them with blackberries. The 999 challenge makes me do weird things. After a very full day, I did bring the trash bear some moss soup. They liked it so much that they cleaned up the sewers, gave Alex's dog Dusty a steak, then flew away like Mary Poppins. I have questions, and I will regret doing this, but for now, that was kind of fun. I decided to design a new chest area, and I barely understand what I was trying to do. I doubt you will, but here I am, doing it anyways. I saw Leo today, and for a second, I thought Jazz and Vincent might be bullying him. I love you, Vincent, but if you were ever being a jerk to Leo, I'd send you away with the trash bear. I spent more time rearranging my chests. I do it by season, which nobody else seems to do, but that's what makes sense to me. Then for the dozenth time, I planted more starfruit on Ginger Island. It's more chest sorting for me in the morning before heading to Pierre's to buy, 999 wheat flour. Then I head home to make over 1,000 pieces of fresh bread for the Keys Cuisine quest. It's a lot of bread, but I'm pretty sure it's not enough, so I go buy 700 more wheat flour, just in case. It's a pretty quest-heavy day. I take a dozen eggs to Gus's for the omelet quest for the second time, then pick up a crop order quest to ship 100 newly grown amaranth by the end of the season. This is all to impress the governor, which normally I wouldn't be into, but when there's a prize ticket involved, I'm there. And yep, I was right. Need to make more bread tomorrow. Get it? 'Cause you need dough? I thought it was funny. So I make 700 more bread. That should be more than enough, but I don't feel like doing math. Then it's back to Pierre's to buy hundreds of amaranth seeds. This man would be out of business without me, and do I get any thanks? No. I check all the trash cans, angering Lewis, before replacing my yams with amaranth. I'm getting desperate to find elvish jewelry, so I make and use 2 more treasure totems, coming up with nothing. I end the day by myself with blackberry jelly. Those key gems show me I did ship enough bread. No math needed. I head to the traveling cart and accidentally buy strawberries when I meant to buy rare seeds. That's on me, but I still blame her. My ponds finally produce a singular dragon tooth. I'm so excited that I empty my pond, which is a mistake, but we'll ignore that. Then I replace more yams with amaranth and still find time to go to Skull Caverns. It's a pretty normal caverns dive, but I'm blowing up a lot of extra rocks looking for omnigeodes to trade for artifact troves. It's an odds game, and eventually one of them has to have the elvish jewelry. I leave when my health gets a little too low. I've died way too much in this playthrough. I get more rocks in the mail from George. I hope when I get old one day, I'll get to send rocks in the mail to my friends. Hey, I'll tell you something embarrassing. I can't find my tools. I run all over the map checking chests on Ginger Island before I finally find them in my tool chest, exactly where I left them. I'm a little dumb, but I knew that already. So I'm back to harvesting and planting. Then I head to the desert trader to trade for 5 more artifact troves. Flint fails me again, but at least it's a keg day. I keep failing with troves, but at least I can always count on kegs. Today starts with me replacing my tiny pumpkin patch with more amaranth. I refill my preserve jars, then check out the traveling cart. At this point, she's just a habit I can't break. I spend the rest of my time fishing in Cindersap Woods, wishing the traveling cart sold artifacts. It's another pumpkin harvest day. Not finishing planting everything day 1 of fall is really showing up right now. I replace everything with amaranth until I run out and switch to artichokes. I look in my shed and think, this needs something. More crystallariums, maybe? So I make 10 more. Jade for staircases, and quartz to refine to turn into solar panels. This is efficiency. Then I go to Robin's for, you'll never guess, another fish pond, baby! I'm addicted to the gamble, and it feels so good. In Key's walnut room, I pick up Danger in the Deep again. I'm gonna be using staircases for that. Then I make and bring a couple more bee houses to Ginger Island before starting to sort my chests for the 999 challenge. Before the fair, I make several more chests for my summer section. I think 6 chests per season will work well for me, so I'm trying to accommodate for that. I harvest a couple pumpkins, check on my animals, and prepare to make Pierre cry with my Grange display yet again. Thankfully, Vincent is by the cows this year. He's the only one I trust in this town to hang out with my child. After defeating Pierre yet again, I gamble, grab the rare crow and prize ticket, then head home. Another successful festival, where I left my newborn at home alone. Whoops. This morning, I raced to buy bombs from the dwarf, then head to Skull Caverns. I need omnigeodes, and I need them real bad. Panning this spot gets me an artifact trove. This is what I'm supposed to be doing today. I can feel it. I'm blowing up rocks left and right looking for these geodes. I even get another auto petter, but none of it matters if I don't find enough rocks. I leave today with 33 geodes, 30 of which I turn into artifact troves. This better be enough, or I will be seeing Clit in court. More crops to harvest and blackberries to jelly. It all seems like a normal Stardew day until I find Leo standing at the edge of the cliff. Well, hi there, Leo. What you doing up there, buddy? Oh, he seems happy, thank goodness. Had me worried there. So I go to Clit's and I open some geodes I had lying around, and then finally, the artifact troves. I hold my breath, hoping, wishing, and finally, freaking finally, the elvish jewelry. I can't believe I'm finally done. I run to the museum and place it in the carefully curated spot that I left open based off a screenshot of someone else's completed museum. In my museum rewards that I haven't been picking up, a star drop. It feels good. Really, it does. Especially with the achievement popping. But there also should be a bigger celebration of me because I put in a lot of work here. But it turns out it was just another normal day in Stardew. I chopped trees, expanded a place for my chests, and added even more chests for spring goods to wrap out the day. I started today working on filling my silos for winter, then headed to the traveling cart where I accidentally bought a second fez and on purpose bought a rare crow. Then I head to the dangerous mines with all my staircases to make my way down the floors. It's pretty easy going, especially with the staircases. And I have to ask, does anybody like the dark floors, or is this a pretty universally disliked place? They always frustrate me. After arriving on the forest floor, I leave early, because my pockets are getting full. No rush, I'll be back tomorrow. And wait, is today Friday? Welcome to day 300. I'm actually so much farther in this series than I thought I would be by this point. I think I'll definitely get that golden clock pretty soon. So the rest of this is all bonus content. Yay! But also now keg day is Saturday since I goofed up. I harvest and replant all the starfruit on Ginger Island, then head to the kegs to do my thing. It takes me into the night to refill all my kegs, but I still head to the mines to use my staircases to blitz through the forest floors, leaving after I hit floor 75. In the morning, I say hello to Charlie and Charlie, then head to the mines. I'm going much slower now, exploring a bit, but I leave at floor 95 because I don't really have a great way to regenerate my health in the mines. So I head to Gus's to buy 150 salads. Nothing like chomping on lettuce when you're about to die. Video game logic. I head back into the mines, roughage and tow to conquer the rest of the dangerous mines, using staircases. Wish I'd bought salads when I started Skull Cavern runs, but I guess it took until I had 8 million gold to think I had enough to spare for rabbit food. With fall coming to a close, I collect for my tea saplings and tappers. At Pierre's, I buy a bunch of bok choy to replace the amaranth. And in Key's Walnut Room, I take another Skull Caverns quest, and I decide that I'll buy Key's hat soon, for when I reach the top of the peak. At Robin's, I do another new thing for me in Stardew, and ask her to build me a slime hutch. I've never used one of these, and I barely know how they work. I'm excited and nervous to find out. I buy a telephone so I can finally use Marlin's phone number. I also buy a furniture catalog for catalog collecting's sake. I move my Statue of Blessings and Dwarf statue out front so I can remember to use them every day. I've been really bad about that. I spend the night adding some flooring around my fish ponds to attempt to decorate. Day 303 starts with harvesting cranberries, pumpkins, and artichokes. I replace the latter two with bok choy, then head into town to search through the trash and collect prize tickets. Shut up, Marnie, you sleep with Lewis. For the last time, I go to Klitz to have him upgrade my trash can to iridium. Then, while I'm checking a trash can near the movie theater, I notice this truck for the first time. Whoever's inside wants me to bring him a rabbit's foot, and I can't say no to a stranger in a car, so I head home to grab it immediately. I bring him the foot, and he gives me the special charm, meaning I've completed everything on the special items and powers page. This wasn't required for perfection, but it feels really good to have accomplished. I spend the rest of the evening bringing all my artifacts and minerals outside to my sorting area. With finally shipping some grapes I've been hoarding all season, I get the polyculture achievement. Great way to start the day, along with some microwave pizza from my husband. Marlin's outside to tell me about the slime hutch. Apparently that's how he lost his eye, and now I'm a little nervous. I head inside with my slime incubator and slime egg press. I put an egg in and hope that's the right move. I have no idea. I'm completely clueless. The rest of my day is spent deforesting, picking up mushrooms in the secret woods, and organizing my new chests with everything from the crafting menu. It's confusing and inefficient, but this is what I've chosen to do. At the end of the day, I make and add 13 more crystallariums to my shed. Gotta keep the gem production moving. After harvesting some crops this morning, I head to a panning spot where I find a bridal veil. Now I'm the prettiest girl at the party. I make 20 new kegs and put more copper in the furnaces to smelt. Then I head to Marnie, who never ceases to use my farm's government name. There I buy 2 rabbits, one that I accidentally named by clicking too fast, and the other one I named Stanley. I check and, well, welcome to the family. Ferrerto. I guess the game finally said that I needed a new fit because in the desert I found a new shirt too. Why is this giving MCR? I buy a bunch more starfruit seeds from my girl Sandy, then replant part of the field on Ginger Island. I also harvest honey and ginger while I'm there. I start my day shoving coffee and spicy eel down my throat to try Key's no eating quest for Skull Caverns. With staircases and bombs on my side, I make it down to floor 100 with no problems. So I decide to keep going. Gosh, I wish I could have a bigger backpack. I find another cowboy hat and wear it to bless the run, which takes me down to floor 208 before I pass out. This was a pretty great caverns dive, and I have staircases left over to do it all over again. That special charm really feels like it's making a big difference. After a bit more bok choy harvesting, I put on my slime charmer ring and head inside. This ring rocks. It makes it so slimes don't damage me, and I can check on my babies with ease. I add a couple more slime eggs that I've randomly collected. I come back with sprinklers because I think I saw someone say these things were water troughs in a video one time. I do not know what I'm doing here. Marlon says he found me face down at 3 a.m. Marlon, what were you doing on floor 208 of Skull Caverns at 3 a.m.? That's the real question. Then it's keg day. I place 30 more kegs with the rest of my ever-growing empire, then empty and refill the kegs until the Spirits Eve festival tonight. There I buy jack-o'-lanterns, a rare crow, and a gravestone before I check on my kid and Leo. I also make sure to get that golden pumpkin before heading home. The end of the fall season. Winter's right around the corner, and so is perfection. I say hello to Charlie and Charlie, then harvest the last of my fall crops. I check the traveling cart, out of tradition's sake, then sorted out my field on Ginger Island. I gave my disappointing stingray ponds some more cinder shards before harvesting all the truffles my pigs had found from the last week or so. I ended the season wielding my iridium scythe to gather enough hay to keep my animals happy and fed through the winter. It wouldn't be the beginning of a new season here in the valley without getting weird mail from Kent. Why are you sending me bombs in the mail? This feels like a threat, Kent. I thought we were besties. Winter has the potential to be calm and easy. The music is beautiful. There aren't lots of crops to worry about. It's simple. But not for me, because I chose Key's crops again. Here we go. More face fruit, baby. While looking for beans, I dug up a red party hat. I'm thrilled and honored at this opportunity to match my boy Spork. Then Pierre called me at midnight to tell me he sells seeds. Pierre, what in the world? My children are sleeping. I decided that I probably ought to connect the bottom path of my farm to the top path. It's about time, you know. Then I caught Alex blushing on the way to the mountains. No, sir. I already married the second worst man in this game. I am not stooping to the worst. I looked through more trash cans today and picked up my own purple trash can from Klitz. Thanks, Clint. Hope to see you never. I haven't watched a movie in this playthrough yet, so just for fun I thought I'd take Leo to see his first motion picture. I grabbed him a snack, didn't get to play the claw game, and we watched this train movie. It felt too old for Leo, but he seemed to like it all the same. I decided on a strange goal today. I want the Iridium Krobus statue. To get it, you have to fish from the sewers in the water. I have to get extra strength seafoam pudding to make it into the water. So I head to Ginger Island to get Key's seasoning, which enhances any buffs from cooking that you make with the seasoning. I make the enhanced seafoam pudding, but when I try to fish into the water, I can't reach it. Turns out if the weird trash bear has already fixed the sewers, the one tile you need to stand on doesn't exist. So I have to head to the forge to enhance my fishing rod and make it back in time to barely get my rod in the water to get this beautiful statue of the most precious baby boy. And I do it with 20 seconds to spare. This was exhausting, but totally worth it. I buy the catalog from Pierre, then place my Iridium Krobus statue front and center. At the Wizards, I get him to magic me a Junimo hut. This is another thing I've never used in Stardew, but I'm excited to try it out come springtime. I find a new bone-themed hat while chopping down a tree. I was really hoping to end this playthrough with some dignity, but I shouldn't have expected as much. I spend the rest of my day fishing for beans. This morning, I make sure to activate my dwarf's blessing before heading to the dwarf in the mines to buy bombs. I made my way to Skull Caverns, and between you and me, I'm just here for the beans. I do end up finding a bunch of iridium and geodes while I'm here. Boring. It wouldn't be winter in Stardew Valley for me if I wasn't putting face fruit in seed makers. I check on my slime babies and am still wildly confused by them. At the traveling cart, I buy some nondescript jelly and a couple cooking items. Wow, I've really gone through an emotional roller coaster with this woman and her pig. I love to hate her, but I just can't quit her. In the walnut room, I buy Key's hat and a couple pressure nozzles to expand the sprinklers I put in my new Junimo hut. I try to decorate with some hardwood fences and a brazier. This is truly the best I can do. I do think it's cute though. Instead of emptying chests, I smack my fishing chests across my farm and into place. I am an efficiency queen. It's the last keg day of this perfection file. Once I ship nearly 500 bottles of wine, I'll have the 10 million gold to get that golden clock. Striving for perfection has really made me fall in love with Stardew again. I found new ways to enjoy the game and the stories that come along with it. I couldn't end this playthrough without buying another fish pond from Robin's though. The odds were not in my favor, but I love my little fish ponds. With 1.4 million more in the bank, I process some face fruit, check on the traveling cart, and head to the Wizards to purchase my golden clock. I make my way to Key's walnut room to see 100% on the perfection tracker, and I actually feel really proud. This game has meant so much to me, and to see it in the stage of completion actually made me emotional. So, on winter 8th of year 3, I see that Grandpa is beaming with pride, and the legacy of Titty's farm is eternal. There's a rumble in the distance. I take Spork with me up to the train station, but I make the journey up to the summit alone, to find Shane at the top. Shane was the first person I romanced in Stardew back in October of 2016. It only feels right that he's up here with me now. I've done it. I am part of the 1.1% of people who have achieved perfection in Stardew Valley. Thank you so much for your support of this series. I love Stardew Valley, and I'm so grateful for the support the community has brought to my channel. This is only the beginning of my journey with Stardew, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see what happens next with the 999 challenge and with the 2 achievements I'm still missing in this game. I hope you'll see me next time. Be kind to each other.